Hello, everybody. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
All right. I like y'all energy. You sound like you got a lot of energy. How y'all doing? Y'all excited? Y'all learn something today?
Yeah.
All right. Anybody see it?
No.
So, tell me a little bit about you guys. You know, most of you. I would like to get a feel of what's in the room. So, you guys tell me a little bit about you guys, and I'll tell you a lot about me. So, orientation, you say, huh?
A lot of us.
A lot of you. Thank you very much. Give me a show of hands of how many people we got in orientation, so I can kind of get an idea. Yeah, you're right. A lot of you. Man, all you guys start at the same time. So that means y'all gonna graduate at the same time, huh? If everybody's still on path, right? That's a good class, man. That's some good accountability teams y'all got there. Happy for you guys. Y'all give yourselves a pat on the back. Y'all gonna rock it out together, right? To the end. 15 months, 14 months together. That's dope. So let me ask you a quick question. Does anybody in here know? So y'all, second session, right? You said? Is that what it is? First and second. So approximately, give me an idea. How long have you guys been here for the most part? With that being said.
And second session's been here since September. First session started the beginning of November.
A month
Third
today.
session started in like June.
Okay. So about just a few months, right? So let me get a show of hands of how many people know why they're here. Okay? You seem high. If you know, put it up there. You know why? Okay. When I mean why you're here, I mean why you're here in this school. Like why you're here. What did you come here for? Okay? The reason why I asked you that is because the main purpose of this talk today is to help you identify your why and where you want to go. Because if you know where you want to go, you can. If you know your why, you can know where you want to go. You know what I mean? Because to keep it simple, when you first came here, you probably didn't know where this school was at. Maybe if you did know, maybe you didn't know exactly where it was at. Maybe you still needed to get some directions or get some help to get here. Am I right or am I wrong? Yeah? So just why, somebody just tell me, for an example, like if you don't know how to get somewhere, what's the common thing that we as people do now, as a society? What do we do if we want to get somewhere and we don't know the directions to get there? What do we do?
GPS.
We do what? GPS it, right? So, but what does the GPS do? That's the question.
Connect the satellites.
Connect the dots. You said the satellites. It gives you a blueprint of where you're trying to go, right? You know you want to be here, but you're here, but you don't know how to get there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So we're getting somewhere. So basically, what I'm saying is that's the reason why I asked you. Do you know why you're here? Okay, because talks like this and being in a school like this is going to help you. What I want to help you do today is put a GPS on your success. Okay. So instead of just going through school or going through life or going through your job and not knowing where you want to end up, that's for the birds. You know what I mean? Now, after high school and after college and all that, now we want to know where we want to be, exactly where we want to be, exact time frame. Because you know how long it takes to complete this course, right? Does anybody know? 14 months, right? So in 14 months, if you do everything correctly, what would you achieve at the end of this 14 months? A diploma, a graduation. You're a professional stylist, right? Right? Yes. Okay. So that's part of the understanding of knowing what you want. So after you get that, what do you do next? Now you want to get in a salon, own a salon, or maybe go back to barbering, right? I'm on path. Okay. So that's kind of what I want you to understand. Okay. And I want to help you guys identify that by the end of this talk. Okay. Like I want you to have a better understanding of your why you're here, because if you don't know, you should be knowing and trying to find out, okay? Because otherwise you're going to be going through it and don't know where you want to be, and that's not what we want, because we want to be professionals. I'm just like you guys. I'm a professional, and I started in the same very chairs like you guys, okay? So I just want to get that out the way, and now I'm gonna just tell you a little bit about myself so you can know why I'm privileged to be up here in front of you guys today. And trust and believe, it is a privilege, and I thank you guys for allowing me to be here. But before I do that, I need some energy in this room, y'all. Y'all just, y'all sounded so excited at first, but then I got to talk about success and GPS. Y'all like, wait a minute, he's over my head. So everybody stand up for me. All right, yeah, get your yawns out the way. I know you had another class, y'all were learning. So this side of the room, do me a favor, y'all face that side. This side of the room, y'all face over there.
Face that. Put your phone away.
And then everybody, I want everybody to put their arms out straight like so. And I want you to give the person in front of you a massage. Yeah. Get him good. Get him good. Come on, man. Come on. Oh, he ain't got nobody? Come on, man. There you go. There you go. Everybody got to get one. Now, everybody turn this way. Turn that way. Now, give your partner a massage. Yeah. We're a team. We're a team. We started. There we go. We started together. We're going to finish together. Let's work it out. All right, look here this way. And one more thing, I need y'all to shake these jitters off. I know we had men, it wasn't been about 9 o'clock. Just jump around, shake these jitters off. You know, get a little bit. Get some juice. Come on, get some juice, y'all. Let's get some juice, all right? Let's get some juice. So I want this to be a fun, interactive class. You know, I know personally, as for myself, you can have something like that. So I know for me personally, like I like to learn and I like to have fun while I learn. So, and I understand that just sometimes just sitting in the class can be so boring, just hearing somebody talking. You might not want to hear my story, tell me anyway, but you might not want to hear my story. You might not want to hear anything I got to say. You might just be here just to be here because you got to be here. But honestly, I'm going to give you a lot of gems, a lot of tools, a lot of techniques, and a lot of things that can help you in your business, your schooling, and in your life. You know what I mean? So you can transition. So, you know, basically, I just want to give you that up front. The gems that I want to give you guys today are very tactful that you can take them a long way. Okay? Fair enough?
Yes.
Great. So I need to get a client. They're not here. Oh, you got some clients? So
I'm in line.
well, depending on what we're going to teach, you know, will determine who my client will be. But before I get into that, I want to kind of break down to you who I am, so you guys can know. Again, that you know why I'm up here. So, my name is Arthur Lyle. And if you don't know me already, follow me on Instagram right now at Instagram Arthur_Lyle.
How do you spell Lyle?
Lyle.
Do you follow back?
I'm gonna follow everybody back if they follow me today. Follow for follow. So yeah, I put it on the board if you don't. So that's my Instagram. So, what was I saying? Oh, my name is Arthur Lyle, and I've been a barber going on 15 years in January. My 15th year in barbering. I didn't go to this particular school. I went to Joseph, which is down the way. And so what happened was, so most of you are I'm asking a question, but I'm assuming has either done hair before or had your hair done before or both, right? How many people just done hair before they started school? Yes, ma'am. A couple people. Okay, great. How many people had a bad haircut? Everybody, huh? Pretty much everybody. Yeah, because I definitely did too. That's kind of how I got into this industry. I started off when I was 12 years old, and I got a bad haircut. Actually, I got 2 on the same day. So, yeah, that's what I said. 2. So I walked to the barbershop, you know, it was in my neighborhood, and you know, was excited. I seen somebody had a cool cut that I thought I wanted, and you know, but honestly, their hair and my hair just wasn't working together. We had 2 different hair textures, and mine really don't quite curl like that. So I told the barber, and I was a little shy guy, so I said, hey, I want my hair, I want this fade, and I see him, blah, blah, blah. But the guy who wanted to cut my hair, he was busy. He was the cool barber, and, you know, he was just, you know, he was that guy, okay? But obviously, me being so shy, I wanted to wait for him. I was too shy to speak up and say no when the guy that couldn't cut wanted to cut me. Like, next, you know, I'm trying to, like, I want to go to him. But, you know, anyway, he cut me up, and then he showed me the mirror, and you know, I swallow my tears, and I don't want to be crying in the barbershop, but I hated the cut. Hated it. So, you know, I walk home crying. Mind you, I'm 12 years old, so don't tell nobody I was really crying. This story is between y'all and me, okay? Please don't tell nobody Arthur Lyle was crying when he was 12. But, yeah, I walk back to the barbershop, walk back home from the barbershop to my grandparents' house. I called my big cousin, because, you know, he was a barber at the time, too. Well, I mean, he cut in the bathroom, so he called himself a barber. But he said, well, little cuz, come on over, I'm gonna fix you up. I got you, don't worry about nothing. So I go over there, I'm gonna sit on this little bathroom toilet, and you know, the nice little barber chair don't spin, but you know, he cut me up and he get me together, and like bam, he stepped back like, you know what I'm saying? That's what he did. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm thinking I'm fresh, I'm good, because I already hated my first haircut. I walk out of the bathroom, and mind you, I'm at my other people's house, and And I walked out. As soon as I walked out, the first words that came out of my grandmother's mouth was like, "Oh boy, who cut you? What happened to your head?" She said, "What happened to your head?" And I'm like, "What?" She said, "Who cut your head?" She said, "Boy, don't you ever let nobody do your hair like that no more." So that was the second cut. And I thought I was fresh. He done stepped back and gave me the lean. My grandmother said, "I'm jacked up." So I went home that afternoon, went to my grandfather, went home that afternoon, went to my grandfather's toolbox. He had a toolbox, right? He had clippers in his toolbox. So I went to his toolbox, stole them, and I just peeled my hair back and grabbed my first pair of walls. That's my first time ever touching some clippers. They weren't these particular ones, but I just took them, just turned that sucker on. You know what? It felt like it was like I felt like I was in a movie or something too, because I was looking at them, I was sad and just like studying. I was just like, and this is all I heard. This is what I heard. I was like, it was just me and the clipper. And I just buzzed it off, all even, right? And that was my introduction to cutting hair. I was 12 years old. And from that day, no one else has ever cut my hair. So, more of the story is that's why I got dreads now, because I got tired of cutting my hair. But more of the story is, from me getting those two bad haircuts, I was traumatized. I was traumatized, and what I started to do from there, I have brothers and sisters, younger brothers and sisters, so I have a big family, so I started cutting other people's hair. I'm trying to get better so I can cut mine. That's only really what it was. So I had a lot of guinea pigs. I was jacking them up like crazy. They going to school. I'm thinking I got them together. They lying here. They got to walk like this. But hey, I thought I was nice. They talking about me in school. That's what they telling me. Whatever. Anyhow, I go through high school and I cut a couple friends. And then after high school is when reality hit. Finished high school. Despite all the struggles going through it, I didn't go to college right away. So the real world hit me. Right after high school, the real world hit me. I was like, well, I had a tough time in high school, barely made it out. I went back. When I did go to college, I went back and they're like, you got to go pull your GPA, before you get into college. I'm like, all right, cool. So I go up to North High. I'm from Omaha. I go up to North High and go pull my GPA, and I looked at it. I was like, dang. They said 1.7? Dang, I didn't do nothing in school. So that lets you know, where my mindset was then. I had a 1.7 GPA in high school. So what I'm telling you is, after high school, the real world hit me. Couldn't get the jobs I want. I was working in like Popeyes and Pizza Hut, eating all the time. That's the only thing I could get. Telemarketing. I couldn't get nothing really that I wanted to do. And I know I didn't want to do none of those things. So I did a year college at Iowa Western. Just business. Still didn't know what I wanted. Just going because a friend of mine said, let's go. And the only thing different that it did for me, it kept me off the streets and tried to keep me a little bit more focused. Because I didn't, personally, I was like, I just had I was into bad things. I had bad friends around me and bad surroundings. I put myself in those situations, and I just didn't know anything different. But the year after I didn't go back to college, because I again was being, what do you call it, irresponsible. And when it's time to do the financial aid again, I didn't do it. So now here I am sitting at home, like, dang. My friend that I went to college, he went back. And I was sitting at home broke, ain't got a job, got to pay rent to my mama, ain't got no money to pay rent. So, I'll do the bad things. Point is, commercial comes on television and says, barber school, be a barber, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, man, me and my cousin was sitting, the same cousin, okay, the same cousin. We sitting there watching this because we both broke and ain't got nothing to do. And we find out this commercial comes on that says, be a barber. But the thing is, like I said, I'm from Omaha. This is in Lincoln. He's like, well, we ain't got nothing else to do. He's like, let's just go. So we drove down here to Lincoln. And I tell you, it was in 2002 when this is happening. And I came down here, signed up, liked everything, did. The only reason I signed up because I had nothing else to do. And like I said, he came up the street. So I signed up. My start date was September 11th, 2002. I was like, man, ain't no way in hell I'm going to school on September 11th after last year what happened September 11th. Ain't happening. It just ain't happening. So, but anyway, that's what the day was. So I come to school 9/11. It was all right. It worked out, nothing, no threats, anything like that. Anyway, fast forward, I go through school right? And the reason what I'm telling you this story is because I want it to be, I'm not trying to say this to impress you, but to impress upon you. I want you to understand that while I was in school, what it did for me, it changed my life. Barbering changed my life. I'm a barber, but I also teach, stylists, cosmetologists. I own a shop and things like that. So I have the understanding and the knowledge to give to you guys. Okay, so it's only only difference between myself and you guys is time. Okay, and effort. That's really the only difference. So here's the thing. While I was in school, I decided to maximize my school because I never really maximized anything else in my life other than like basketball. That's the only thing that really took me away. So when I was in barber school, I spent $15,000 to go to college and go to barber school. This is what it was when I went. And I'm like, man, I'm paying $15,000. I don't got it. So I want to go, I'm a lefty, so I'm cutting hair with my left hand. I'm learning how to cut hair with my left hand. But something hit me and said, again, I was in a bad thing, so I liked to fight when I was younger. So, I started fighting. I know I'm a damn guy, but I can fight, okay? So don't go. So I started them. But something started clicking, and I was like, what happens if I get in a fight and I mess up my left hand? Then I can't make no money. You know what I mean? Because this is our jewels. These are our jewels. These are your jewels. And they got to be precious to you. So something clicked. I said, well, while I'm in school, maybe I'm start trying to cut with my right hand too. All right, so while I'm here, I'm messing people up anyway with my left, so I might as well try to equal it out. So then I was like, me as a barber, we use razors, so I was like, well, I'm razing everybody with my left hand. Let me try to go with the right. Yes, a couple people's bleeding, but that's what I do. But what I'm trying to say is, while you're in school, you should be utilizing the time and the effort that you're putting in. You should be maximizing it. You know what I mean? Don't just go to school just to go to school. Go to school to get something out of return. You should be looking for your ROI, return on investment. Okay? Because I know you guys, your college is a little bit more than what mine was 15 years ago. So you really should be like, look, you should get real serious and say, look, if I'm willing to invest X, Y, Z into a school that's going to give me, my license, I don't want to just take away my license. I want to take away everything that's possible for that price. Okay? Don't just take away the bare minimum because it's, there's so much in here in this school that you can learn that can make you that money 10 times over once you get out. But if you don't maximize it, you don't get it. So that's why I tell you that story. So now I own a barbershop. Like I said, I'm 15 years in the game. I own a barbershop. I've written a book. I'm an author, so I kind of share my strategic stories on how I transition from my struggles and turn it into success. And I've also had multiple hair shows where I'm training and helping and encouraging other individuals like yourselves to be their best self. So that's why I'm here, because I have that understanding that I changed my life and you can too, okay? So that's really what that is about. Now I'm just still waiting on who's my instructor? Is my instructor here today? I had two barbers that was supposed to be my client. I think, I don't even know his name yet. So yeah, once I get my clients out, we'll get started on a haircut. But before we get started, let me ask you guys, what enticed you to come here? Like, what do you like about men? Because we're going to talk about men's haircutting. What do you like or don't understand or like to know or curious about men's haircutting? Excuse me. Let me just, any questions, please. So this helps me help you. Lineup. Anything else? Absolutely nothing. Fades. Styling. Okay. Anything else? So let me tell you guys something. You as women have an advantage over, you have a huge advantage as a lady, as a woman, to cutting men's hair. I had a lady in my barbershop, I had a lady in my barbershop, and oh my God, I'm telling you, she, when she first started, she came into my barbershop. She was a barber and she's a stylist, okay? But she wanted to just kind of focus on men's haircut. And she does her styles, but she really wanted to kind of build up her man clientele. So she was a little scared, especially being around these guys in the barbershop and all that thing like that. She was wondering how they would treat her. It was like, Are they gonna say I can't cut a woman, blah blah blah? You know what I'm talking about. I don't have to go into details about that. But you know the stipulations that a guy would say. I don't want a woman cutting my hair. She's a lady. She can't, all that women stuff, right? Okay. So I brought her into my shop, and what I did was, at first, the culture in my shop is based on, what I put out. So in order to be anything, you have to be that. In order to have your environment to change, you have to be that first. Okay. So in order for my barbershop to be what I needed to be for, like if any one of you ladies that want to work in my shop, I had to put in the work as in attracting the people that will respect you. So when you're looking for a barbershop or a salon after you get out of here, or when you're looking for clients, you have to look for people that's going to be like-minded like you. Because the people that like you are going to be your clients. It's going to be your peers. It's going to be, that's where you're going to be comfortable with. We are comfortable in our environment, right? Right or wrong? Right? Okay. So when she comes to my shop, she was afraid at first, and I had to coach the clientele to sit in her chair. But now, and she doesn't work with me any longer. She just moved to Atlanta because she's done so well. She went from making absolutely no money the first few months, being scared and the scarcity thing, and being a lady in a whole male-dominant environment, to being one of our top performers in our barbershop. Because she knows how to treat people, whether they're male or female. You know what I mean? I help coach her. I help coach her into understanding what people need, especially from a lady to a man, and men's haircutting. A man would love to sit in a lady's chair if they treat them right. You don't even have to give them the best cut, but if you treat them right, as you want to be treated, you can maximize it. Let's show you. Come on. So I'm gonna try to get 2 cuts in, so it could be 2 different perspectives. Basic men cutting. Can I do anything?
A little taper.
So how about just a bald head? Because I think that's what they need.
A bald head.
Bald head.
Bald head.
When y'all see a bald head? What up? How about like a little bald head and taper it back? And then at the end, I'll just taper the sides.
Just do a taper. I don't want to cut this. I'm going to grow it.
How am I gonna show them something?
You show them how to taper it. Neck taper.
I need to cut something off.
Oh,
Just leave the top and do the sides.
huh?
Leave the top and do the sides. Just let him do whatever he wants.
Okay, he said.
It'll grow back.
It'll grow back. It's cool if you can.
Huh?
Because I just wanted to taper it.
You just want to taper it. Is that gonna help you guys to see a taper, or you need to see
Yeah.
like more of a full cut? Be honest though, because I want you guys to get the best out.
It's a full cut.
Cut.
I want to see a full cut.
Off, but like, what if we just take it down a couple levels or something like that? You want to keep it curl?
I got a little head. I need something on top.
We got an additional model.
Do the side. Right here. On him. Let him do whatever you want. Yes, I will let him do whatever you want. Right here. You can do whatever you want with it.
Put it off.
Whatever you want.
Would y'all like to see me cut her hair?
It's just hair. Okay. It's just hair. What he's doing. Oh my gosh, guys.
All right.
It's gonna look so beautiful.
All right. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, my specialty is bald head, so we're gonna start here.
Okay, I'm ready. Girl, it's just hair, and I like to keep it. It's not bald. It's good. I'm gonna let him do whatever he wants. I don't care.
Bald head.
Wait, bald.
Yes, honey, it'll look good.
Because you don't know how bald head is. It's a haircut. That's a haircut. You know, I get lots of money for just shaving people. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break this down. I'm gonna break it to a real simple concept for you guys, so you can understand it real simple, and you can use these techniques on any haircut, any style, any ethnicity, anything. Okay? We're gonna break it. Sure can. Feel free. Share on your Instagrams and YouTubes and Snapchats. Just tag me. Just tag me. Yeah, tag me. Right. Yeah, please do. So, before we dive into a haircut, go ahead and take a picture. Before we dive into a haircut, we have to know the tools. We have to know, understand our tools. I know you guys in like first, second, and third session, so you want to know like, you got to know what tools you're utilizing. Okay, so today we're going to use these wall, my wall clippers. Dang, what are these? You know, this is, I forget. But anyway, we're going to use our walls today, our 5-star wall clippers. And basically what I'm going to do is, I got my detachable, my guards over here, and they're going to help me achieve this cut. And the reason why, you know, I'm going to use these guards today is because I'm going to help you guys execute a haircut using clippers and a guard. It's going to be a safe route for you to actually GPS on your successful haircut, okay? So, but before we do that, I can just easily just run through this haircut and just do a guard for guard. You have absolutely no idea on what I just did. You say, oh, yeah, that was a nice cut, and I understood everything, but you're not. Because, you know, you're telling me stories, okay? So, I'm going to break it down, okay? So, look, as simple as this. I'm going to break it down to this. This clipper here, like any other clipper, I think you guys are using walls right now, right? Does anybody know? Yeah. Is that what you guys are using? Okay, so I'm using pretty much what you guys are using. So basically, the difference is, I want you to know this tool. And everybody familiar with this lever? You know your clipper, we got a clipper, got this lever, right? You know, I'm gonna break it down for you, but have you seen this lever before on a clipper?
Yes.
Okay. So this lever is the control arm, okay? It's the control arm. It controls the different lengths that this clipper can cut, okay? And how I'm going to reference it today is going to be open and close. Remember that. I want you guys to write that down. Does everybody got a sheet? Everybody get one?
We went out.
Yeah,
Ran out?
Yeah, like nobody over on the side has
Nobody on
one.
the side?
you need me to make some copies?
Could you please? So, yeah, I got some sheets for you guys, and we got some notes, and you can take notes. And so I want you guys to pay attention because I'll be asking some questions. I got some things I can give away for you guys as well. So anyway, like I said, once you get to your paper, if you don't have it already, just take a mental note till you do. We're going to use the levers, and I want you to write down open, and halfway or half, and closed. Okay? Open, half, and closed. I'm just tell you what those mean. So open, when I say open, I'm referencing that this lever will be like so, like all the way down, okay? When I say closed, I'm going to have the lever like so, okay? Meaning that the teeth are going to be fighting each other. They're going to be level with each other, okay? So that's going to be closed. This is going to be open. And of course, if that's open and this is closed, then what would be the middle? Half. Okay? So this class is a participation class. I want everybody, that let me know that I'm doing what I'm doing. So that lets me help you. Okay? So if I ask you a question, shut it out. Okay? You don't have to be shy. So yes, half. In the middle is half. Okay? So I've already got on the board, but the way I reference it is I use like close is like I call a triple lot. Like pretty much close to bald, or like pretty much like bald, not bald, but pretty close. Okay. Half is the next level up from being that close level. Okay. Or OA or half. So you might hear that between you guys and the barbers. If you know that reference, that's what that means. So I'm gonna say put it on half or put it on the OA. That's what that means right there in the center. Okay. And then if someone says open, it's like a one. It's like a one guard. One blade, okay? And that's like this, all the way open. That's pretty much the reference length, okay? And that's the longest that this particular clipper will cut without a guard, okay? This is open. This is the closest it will cut without a guard, okay? And then obviously, we can get into all of this here with these guards if we like as well, okay? And these are going to help us achieve that in a simple fashion. Now, I'm just going to run through these real quickly. So write this down on your guards. And so your first guard that you will put on will be your 1/16 guard. Your 1/16 guard So, I mean, in the meantime, if you want, you can just put in your notes. This is good. And actually, it might, I don't know if Sunday should or not. Your 1/16 guard is your first guard that you would use, when you're going up the ladder. Maybe I should put it on the board. Here for you guys. So, your first guard is your 1/16. Yeah, excuse my hair, right? Yeah, it's real bad. 1/16. Okay. The next one would be, and I'll pass these around for you if you need to see them as well. The next one will be a 1/8. Okay? That's what this looks like. It's a 1/8. Okay? Your next one would be a 1/4. Actually. Yeah. Your next one will be a 3/8. Okay? 3/8. And as you see, each teeth get a little bit thicker, a little bit longer, because basically it's cutting less and less hair. Okay? You see that? The next one would be a half. Okay? A half. A half would take, a lot less hair. So if you ever want to find out how much hair this might take, or any guard might take, a simple thing that you can do is just take the guard by itself without a clipper and just kind of run it through, and you can kind of see how much hair it may take or may not take. So this particular guard, which is a half or 4, will not cut this hair down here, but it may cut up in there. You see how it kind of overlaps? That's how you can determine if this is a longer, this guard is where it can be used at. Okay? The next one will be 5/8. Half. 5/8. I think the next one is a 3/4. And then I think we got a 1. And then we're going to stop. No, this one has a 7/8. These are walls. I don't always use walls, so I have to kind of reference myself, but the next one is a 7/8. Yeah. 7/8 and 1. Yeah. Sorry, I got that backwards. 3/4. 5/8, 7/8, and then a 1. Can you see that okay? Okay, great, thank you. You can pass that out. So, in order for you to execute this haircut, you gotta know your tools. So that's the reason why I started there. Because that helps me, or it doesn't help you to just jump in this haircut and you don't know your tools first. I'm gonna break it down in simple steps for you. So, before you start a haircut, you always want to use proper sanitation. I'll call it the 5 Ps. In order to have this execute any type of haircut, hairstyle, men's, women, any type of thing, you want to have the 5 Ps. Write the 5 Ps down. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. What that means is if you're properly prepared, then it sets yourself up for success. You're less likely to lose, or you're less likely to mess up if you're properly prepared first. So me being properly prepared is an example is I'm showing you guys these tools before I teach you, how to cut this hair, because if I just jumped into cutting the hair and you didn't know the basics of what I was doing, then, we would miss the whole message. if I don't properly cape her right, and hair gets down her shirt, or she gets irritated around her neck because I don't have on a neck strip, then I wasn't properly prepared, and then now, I'm liable to get sued or anything like that. You see what I'm saying? So you want to be properly educated, or properly prepared. Now, the next step is a consultation, which a lot of these things you probably went through your basics. But here's the thing, if you don't practice and master the basics, you'll never get to the next level, next steps. So that's why I'm teaching the basics. I want you to master the basics. So before I even ask her what I'm doing, I want to do a consultation. I want to see what kind of haircut I got. I want to be analyzing the facial structure. I want to be analyzing, everything about her hair that's there for me. Okay. So, and how you do that? Great question, Mr. Lyle. So, since you guys want a question, I'll ask a question. So, as I'm talking and saying, hey, so what type of haircut are we asking? So this is a real question. What type of haircut would you like?
Whatever you're feeling.
Whatever I'm great at. Okay, ball heads. So, so as I'm doing that, I'm using my comb. So your comb will be your best friend, okay, when you're clipper cutting. So you want to comb through this, and as I'm cutting through this, tell me a couple of things that you've learned in school that I could be looking for or checking for as I'm doing this hair and scalp analysis. Light. What else? Colic, sores, abrasions. Anything else? Say again. Growth patterns. Yes. Okay. Yep. And so all those things. So I'm checking for those things now, because I'm telling you, one time I didn't do one of these before. I just jumped in, did a little kid haircut, and then about 3 days later, my forearm was itching. I was just cutting and talking. I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, why am I forearm? I mean, I finally realized I said I had a wingworm on my arm. I said, I didn't cut that little kid, because I didn't realize it until after I cut his head. But by that time, I was pretty much done with his haircut. So the little kid gave me wingworm. So what I'm trying to tell you is, I'm trying to prepare you for you not getting wingworm from my experience. Okay. So, with that being said, you might have wingworm for this one. Yeah. I use gloves. I use gloves because I have you ever had a splinter? Have you ever had a hair splinter? Yeah. Oh, man, I don't like that. So that's why I use gloves. People are like, man, you don't like me or something? Like, you think I got something? No, it's really because of that, and I think they look cool. So I got 2 reasons for that. But so as I'm doing that, I'm checking for all those things. And I've done that, so we've done that already. And now, as I'm doing that, I'm actually mentally visualizing what type of haircut I'm going to do. So I'm doing 2 things at once. I'm asking what type of haircut she likes, and I'm also figuring out, what haircut I'm going to do. And as I'm doing a hair and scalp analysis, so now I'm looking for growth patterns and things like that, so I know when and where I can cut, how to cut, and how to do it. So by the time I'm done with this, I should already know what I'm going to do. And that's what I want you to understand. Because as a professional, if you want to go to the dentist, right, and you got a cavity, and they coming in there, you're like, hey, my mouth is hurting on this side, blah, blah, blah. What are they going to do? They're going to examine you. They're going to take an x-ray. Like, oh, okay, you got a cavity. So before they begin to operate, pretty much they know exactly what they're going to do, how they're going to do it, how much time it's going to take, and how it's going to execute. Right or wrong? Right or wrong? Right? So what makes them any different from us? We're professionals, right? Aren't we professionals? Are we studying to be professionals, right? Yes. So we should know exactly what we wanted to accomplish before we started. Because if I'm trying to figure it out in the process, just think about it. Your dentist is in there trying to figure out how to take this cavity out when you're in there. Come on, right? You gonna give this man some money or lady some money? Absolutely not. You know what I mean? You better get about your mouth, right? Okay, so why would I be in your head if I don't know what I'm trying to do? So that's what we want to do. We want to understand what we're doing first. So before I do this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you just some simple cuts, a simple cutting technique, where how I'm going to pretty much keep the same concept that's already there. I'm just going to take it down a couple levels and give it a nice clean look, and I'll probably just fade this out so it looks really nice and clean, and then I could probably maybe just shear the top a little bit, just kind of blend it and bring it all together to bring it home. Does that sound good enough? Does that sound cool?
Yes.
That's simple enough and not too complex? Yeah. Great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to analyze, because see, here's the thing. I want to know what I'm doing first. So before I even start, I want to take a guard and I want to figure out what I'm going to do, okay? So that's going to take about that much hair. You know what? I'm a little scared. I don't want to take too much off. So I'd rather you leave more than cut less. No, I'd rather you cut less than cut too much, and because you can't put it back. You can't pick it up and put it on there, all right? So you take off a little bit at a time. So this is my half, all right? I got my lever all the way open, and I'm just gonna see what it does, okay? Because mind you, I'm just like you guys. I'm new at this, so I don't wanna cut too much, and I don't wanna mess up. So I wanna just kind of take a little bit off at a time. Okay, so. Okay, you see that coming off? So one thing about clipper cutting is you got to use all your senses. You got to use, your visuals to see, where you're cutting. You want to know where you're cutting. You also want to listen. You know what I mean? So just listen here for a moment. Just listen to the hair coming off. Okay? You hear that? So that means I'm working. That means this is working. Now check this out. Do you hear anything now? That means I'm not working. That means either the guard is either too big for that area, and I need to change it to cut that, or I need to be up higher or lower or whatever. But basically, it's not working. It's not working here. You want your clippers working. Okay? So that means this guard is a better fit up here. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. All right. So that's just to give me a quick basic, just to get you diving in here without being afraid. So what I want to do, I'm really going to shave this down. Like I really want to just shave it.
I don't care. I'm excited.
So I'm going to start from the bottom to the top. Okay. I don't want to go too close. I don't want it to be like bald or anything. But what I'm going to do, I want you guys to follow along with me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create me some guidelines. Okay? I'm going to create me some guidelines, and then I'm going to build off those guidelines. So this one here is my 1/8. I'm going to start at my 1/8. I'm not going to start at my 1/16. I'm just going to blend it out a little later. I'm start at my 1/8 and just kind of see what it does. And basically, I'm going to start right in my nape area. Everybody knows this is my nape, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, what is the bone right above the nape? Occipital. Great, the occipital bone, right? So, rule of thumb, when you're fading or blending or doing anything like that, you never want to fade either on or above, or either on or below the occipital bone. Okay, it's too hard. It's just hard. Some people might have an indent there. Some people might have that egghead back here. Some people may have, a little fat meat right there. It's so many things. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about anybody, but I'm just telling you this is what you're going to experience. And to be really honest, so that's why I say never really fade, at it. You want to go either below it or above it. So this is my 1/4 or 1/8. And I just want to kind of take it down. And as I'm coming up, pretend like this comb was flat on her head. And you see how the comb automatically kind of just goes up off the head. It doesn't follow the curvature of the head. I never want you to follow the curvature of the head. I know the head goes this way. Never follow the curvature of the head, okay? Because you will never get a blend. And you'll always be fighting to get that out. So if you always need reference, just take whatever comb you're using and lay it against the head and then say, okay, this is what I need to be doing. Straight up, okay? Or seeing out. I call it seeing your way out, okay? See that?
So do you have them like tilt their head down a little bit or keep it straight up?
I'd have it, I'm tall. So yeah, yeah. And then you get them people that don't like want to put their head down. Like, they just, you can go like this and they come like that. And so I'm gonna tell you a secret. This is what I do. You do this, and you put the head back up, put your head back up. Then you do it again, and you put the head back up. So this is what you do. You go. You just pause. You just pause. And it's like you tell your dog, you're like, sit. It's like, this is like, stay. But that's what you do. But honestly, as it's funny, but you really got to train your clients to know how you cut. Because they're going to make your job harder. Okay? So, see, she's still there. So, that's what you do. You know what I mean? So, for me being tall, I need your head down like that. You may not. You may not. You may be a little shorter, you want it straight up, but it's preference. So I'm just going to come here, cut all the way through this, and I'm doing it fast, but I just want you to kind of understand. Right now, I got the head up here, so I just wanted to come here, and as I'm doing this, I'm going right off the head. I'm not really going over that hook, over the curvature, because all of this here, I need to blend into this. If I go into that, I'm not going to be able to blend this. And that's where a lot of people have a lot of issues. They end up going in here and then they want their hair to come down here and it's like, it's not working. It's not going to work. Then you're cutting it shorter, then trying to blend it, and then that's when you fall into trouble. Okay? So I want you to just cut straight up and then come out. Okay? And your comb is your eraser. So cut and erase. Cut and erase. Cut and erase. Say it with me. Cut and erase. Cut and erase. Cut and erase. Great. Can you see over there, guys? Sorry. I know. See that? Cut and erase. And always remember, while you're cutting hair, you always want to go against the grain. Okay? You always want to go against the grain, because if you go against the grain, give you more of an accurate cut. Say accurate cut with me. Accurate cut. Accurate cut. Because we're professionals. We want our stuff to be accurate. We want it to be on point. We want to be looking nice. We don't want to be choppy. We don't want to be guessing. We want it to be what? Accurate. All right. Okay. So that's my first guard. So as you know, we got the guard system on up here. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to do something very simple, and I don't want you to ever overcomplicate it. Okay? And I call it the skip a blade, skip a guard, skip a blade, whatever you want to call it. I teach it through the whole school, so everybody knows the skip blade method. So you know the barbers use it, but they use it on different clippers. But I still teach this technique because what it does, it gives you the opportunity to have guidelines. Does anybody know what guidelines are? Somebody tell me what guideline is. What a guideline is. Anybody know? Say again. Raise your hand. Let me know. Something to follow. Okay. I'm gonna give you a good job. So basically, a guideline is something to follow, giving you an opportunity to follow a guide. You know where you're at. I like to call it. I like to see where I'm cutting at. I like to see what's happening versus just cutting and don't know where I'm trying to go. Good job. So I'm all about guidelines. So that's why I like to play the skip blade method, or the skip blade game. So I started with my 1/8, and if I was going off that graph that I had you write down, it's on the board. If I were to skip a guard from the guard I just used, which one would I be using next? 3/8, right? So this is my 3/8, okay, that I put on this clipper. So I have my levers open, and I'm going to skip about a half of an inch. About a half of an inch. There's just enough room for you to fade. It's not too much, it's not too little. That's another thing is, like when you're clipper cutting, a lot of people just don't have enough room to fade. That's when they lose their confidence. I don't want you guys to lose your confidence. I want you to be confident because, we want to be, what kind of cuts we want? Accurate. We want accurate cuts. So in order to have an accurate cut, you got to be what? Confident, right? All right, let's do it. So we're going to go about a half of an inch. So, which is about right there, right? So I want to take my bigger guard, and if you're afraid to just jump in there, you see what it'll do without the blade. And just kind of, take your guard, and then you just see what it does. Okay? Again, don't go over, because it takes, you see how much more it takes if I go over? But if I come out, like I'm doing straight like so, if I were to go like so, and you see when I'm going at this angle, the reason why I'm going at this angle, can anybody tell me why I'm going at that angle? That's the way your hair grows. That's the way your hair grows. We always want to cut the way the hair grows. Anytime you mess that up, you're going to put a hole in the hair. And that's what we don't want to do. Okay? That's not an accurate cut. Okay? So yes, it goes that direction. But if I'm keeping it flat and coming off the head, then it takes a lot less, right? You see that? But if I go in there and follow that curve, look how much I'll be taking off. You see what I'm saying? So now we might have an upset customer, right? If that's not what we wanted, then we really would have to be doing a bald head. Bald cut, really So I'm going to do like I showed you. And And when I do the one side, I'll do the other side. Cut and erase. The comb is really important because it allows you to see what you just done. Because you can cut, I can sit here and keep cutting like this, thinking I'm in the right area, like so, just doing all this cutting, and I ain't used my comb yet, and then, you know, here I come, and I don't even know where I'm at. You see how that works? But now if I were to cut, move that hair that was there, because some of that hair still might be up there. So I want to get it out the way. I want to get it out the way. I want to cut and erase it. Now I can see what I'm doing. Okay? Alright, so we skipped the blade. We skipped the guard. And if we skip one, in order to go back, what I gotta do? What should I be looking for?
140.
140. So, same thing. How's this technique looking so far? Is everybody follow?
Yeah.
Simple enough?
Yeah.
Yeah? You think you can give me an accurate cut with this?
Nope.
Anybody? How about it? Anybody got a yes?
Yeah.
Who said yes? Raise your hand. Here, come do it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you said you can do it.
They don't care.
So, Kara, she trusts you. So listen, what I want Kara to do, come over so everybody can see. What I want Kara to do, I want Kara to stay in this, Kara, right?
Yeah.
Kara. So Kara's going to stay in this small area. Don't worry, I can't fix nothing that you mess up. So.
Okay.
But just stay in the area that I was already at. Okay? Keep in mind, this is a guard, so this is why it's easy for you to actually, you know, and you're in school, you're supposed to be practicing like this, okay? So, and you got professionals around you that can help you, right? So you should feel confident. But I want her to do is, do you see this little bulk area right in here? You see that? Everybody see that? So tell me, why do you think that might be there? What was that? Very correct. So what happens if I come back with the guard that I skipped? What might happen? It might blend a little bit, maybe, right? Because the guards are set up for it to blend automatically. You know, you don't have to do a lot of work. It's already set up for you. Why you know, the thing is that this, you know, you want to do things that work. And this system works. So let's go ahead. See what you got. So, just stay in your area. Because remember, we only went about 1/2 inch. Come over so they can see you. Wait. Okay. So Kara's staying in her area. She's cutting right up, straight up, like we already talked about. She's not going over the head. She's utilizing a guard, and she's actually blending in the haircut that we are trying to achieve. Did everybody see that? Yes. I'm not even watching, but she's doing a good job. All right, great. Thank you, Kara. Give Kara a round of applause, everybody. Thank you. Good job, Kara. So basically, with this system, I'm trying to teach you that it really works. It's very accurate. It's very, you know, it's a quick process that can actually achieve any type of haircut you want. It doesn't matter, like I said, the ethnicity. It doesn't matter the haircut style. As long as you know what you want to achieve before you want to achieve it. Okay, so Ms. Kara, I wanted to give you one of these cool towels. Can you catch? So I'm gonna finish up this blend so you can kind of see where we're going, and then I want you to taper out this back so you can kind of get a good idea.
And then I'm next.
And then you might be next. So I think here you stole my comb.
No, you put it right here. It's on the corner.
Oh, no, I can't. Don't mind me. I do it all the time. Everybody in my shop like, where my comb at? So yeah, good job. So she did. She took care of that bulk. She took care of that blend. I mean, there's a little in there that we can easily take out. That's what we got the guard system for. That's what we got the open and close in half for. If we need to take more or less, that's why I always say have it open, because if I need to get it in a little bit more detail, I can go up and halfway cut it just a little bit shorter and give me a little bit more of a blend. If I need a little bit more of a blend, I can close it. I still have a guard. I will not mess up anything. because, you know, I would just take this a little bit shorter and I get a little bit of a blend, like so. Same area, and I'm going to go about half, okay? If I needed to take that blend now, which half is cutting a little bit shorter, okay? Because remember, the closer you get to this, the shorter it is, right? But we started with it open. Miss Kara had it open, okay? And this is what she was doing, okay? And again, if you remember, she was cutting straight up. She wasn't going over the curve. She stayed in her area. You can hear it cutting. So she achieved everything she needed to achieve. If I want just a little bit more of a blend, I can just come up just a half of it, and then cut just a little bit more, and give it just a little bit more of a blend. You see how that blends together? If I want just a little bit more of a blend, guess what I can do? I can close it. And it blends everything in a nice, smooth transition. Okay? So, I'm going to do all of the other side real quickly so we can move on to the next portion. Any questions? Please ask questions. No questions. So somebody else can come do this. Who else can come do this for me then?
I actually have a question.
Okay, what's up?
Okay, so like one of my best friends, the way that they like their fade is like, it's pretty much like to the scalp and really high up, but then longer on top, and it's really, the length difference is, there's just not much of a fade there. Like there's just a really small area, and there's a large difference between like to the scalp, and then I'm talking about like an inch and a half on top. Like how do you blend that to not make it look awkward?
Great question.
Because I feel like every time that she like gets a cut like that, it looks really awkward.
Great question. What she's asking is, how do you transition from a short cut, like you said ball fade?
Yeah, like really high up, so like above the ear.
So above the ear, ball fade, to long hair on top, like so, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you transition? That's a great question. Has anybody ever experienced that or seen that and want to know how to achieve that? I'm going to tell you, it's like this. What I said earlier about fading, one of the reasons why most people lose their confidence is fading because they don't give themselves enough room to fade.
Mm-hmm.
So the way you're describing it, you can't go from, let's say it was it was bald, and you want to go to, from bald to about a half, which is, a little bit longer than that, a little bit shorter than that, right? So, but you don't give yourself that much room to fade. Look at all of these blades that has to go in between that, right? So from here, let's say from here to there, I'd have to put all of those blades or guards in between there.
Yeah.
So do you think that's enough room? It can be if you do it strategically. But what happens is people don't give themselves enough room to put all that in there from ball to there. So you have to give yourself enough room. That's why I said you want to give yourself about a half an inch per segment when you're blading. Because then you can probably fit all of those in there. Because at that moment, you got half an inch, half an inch, half an inch, half an inch, half an inch. See what I'm saying? And if it's not, you might have to start short or lower. Half an inch, 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 half an inch. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So make sure you're giving yourself room to fade. So I kind of got the base of this haircut together, right? That's the base. This is the base. And here's another trouble part that people have trouble with. Is like pulling it together and lining it up. A lot of people have sensitive necks. They might turn red. Clippers might be sharp. There's a lot of things that can be in place. Excuse me. So I'm gonna show you how to block this out. I'm gonna show you how to round it out, and I'm gonna show you how to fade that out. Real quick. They're all real quick, simple techniques, but you want to know all three of them. Okay. So you always want to make sure you're utilizing the bases of the hair and everything where it's at. I don't want to be pushing anything back. I don't want her line to come into here, anything like that. I want to keep it where it's at. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start here on the outside, the exterior of the line, and I'm gonna follow the natural line as natural as I can. Okay. And when you're using these, you want to make sure like you're using them at anywhere ever been on like a teeter totter as a kid? Like one side goes up, one side goes out. Up like that, right? Right. Mm-hmm. But right there in the center is a piece that kind of helps it happen, right? It's stopping me from applying too much pressure, okay? I'm going to pass this around so you can see that it's kind of got hair on it. Pass it around and practice your pivot as I'll do this. Now I'll use another clipper down. Go ahead, trim it. Excuse me. second. So I'm gonna use my pivoting technique to do her line. Okay? My finger's right here on the front of the blade, the clipper. I'm gonna pivot. So I'm gonna fold her ear down like so. And my finger, don't be afraid to touch their neck, their ears, all that, because you know you're the professional. And a lot of times you might be afraid of, you know, move their ears and all that. No, you just go do what you gotta do to make sure you achieve the goal that you're trying to achieve. I'm just gonna follow the natural line. Going straight down to the neck of the hairline. Now how much you have here? There you go. And then as I get closer down here, the most important part is, like if you got a trimmer that's really sharp, and like right here, your neck gets kind of a little loose, but you want to make sure you're stretching it, because if it's loose here, like, you know, if you just, you know, got any time your neck is just sitting up, it's looser here, right? You know, you can feel it, right? So imagine if I put a sharp object on it when it's loose, it's going to bite you. You know what I mean? So I want it to be stretched, and I want it to be, you know what I mean, because now it's stretched out, and I can apply, you know, my sharp object on it. So I want her to put her neck like so, or down, or I might just pull my finger, use my finger to stretch the rest of the skin, so I will not pinch the neck. Okay, and from here, I want to clean up all the extra hair. I always want to take my trimmer and I want to cut up, like so. I don't want to take it like you might see some people, you know, using it this way and going up like that. That's too close. That's irritating the skin. You don't ever want to do that. Okay, they can break out, they can rash out, you can do a lot of different things that you do not want to have a problem with. Okay, so you want to just have it flat like so, and you want to come up just like that. In sensitive areas like necks, you shaving somebody's under a guy's neck, same way. You come up, you know, like this side of the blade, not this side, because it cuts closer, it gets irritated. Back of the neck, same thing. Okay, kind of get the idea? Okay, so I did one side, right? Okay, now I'm gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. What you do to one side, you do the other side. Okay? So.
Can you place it like here on this side so we can see?
Oh, sure. So when you use it, when you're cutting, I want you to use your mirrors though. Let's pretend I have a mirror here. Okay? So I'll be looking at it. You know, I'm on the neck. So I'll be looking at it, and you can kind of see how it comes down, right? Like just like that, right? You can see that, right? Okay. So I want my other side to do pretty much that. I mean, they might not be exact, but what I like to do, you know, they might not be twins, but they're gonna be sisters. Okay, the lines, they might not be twins. You know, they might be exact, but they're gonna be very close. So I'm using my mirror to help me do that. So I'll be looking at my mirror because my mirror's not gonna lie to me. But if you follow the natural line, you should be good anyway, though. Oh, I'm sorry, you said over here. So I just want to go straight down where it's at. And then hold the ear down. Okay. Then I want to clean it up. Remember again, I'm going to stretch that skin. That's very important. You're going to have people jumping out your chair if you don't. Okay. See how those go straight down like so? Now, I want to box this off. Okay, a lot of people request that, so you might do a lot of those. Okay, so you know, one thing I want to teach you how to box this off, because I don't want you boxing and it's not straight. And like, dang, I gotta take it some more. Then you box and it's not straight. And dang, you gotta take it some more. And all of a sudden, your box is way up here. So I want to show you how you can box it off the first time and get it, you know, pretty close, to pretty much of a box. So you already have your guideline here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right here in the center. I'm going to make a little slit, a little guideline right here, okay? And once I do that, it'll basically justify where I should go from there. So I make this slit where I need to cut where I need to be. So it'll be right here, okay? Right? Everybody see that? Mm-hmm. Kinda. I know you're blonde hair, but you can't see it. So it's right here. You know, you got over here, here, and there. So from there, all we have to do to get a perfect box is just connect the dots. Here to here, from here to here. Just connect. Okay? So you guys, I'll show you on the side. And I'm just gonna make it out. See how simple that is? Now, here, here, right? Over here, same thing. From here to here, we just connect the dots. Simple enough? Okay. So that's a box, all right? And you clean all the hair up. Now, how do you round that? How do you know? Does anybody know how to take a square to a circle? What do you do? Take off the corner. So, how about we just take off these corners? Just take off the corners. Take off the corners. Now it's rounded. It gives it a whole different look. You see that? Okay. Then from there, I want to just go over the ears real quickly. And when you go over the ears, you just want to hold this down, and you can't put that whole blade there because you can't put a flat blade on a round surface. Right? Would you agree with that? Because if I did, tell me what would happen. You see how much I'm gonna take out? So I just need to take just a couple of edges of these teeth to just kind of arch or etch myself around that ear. Like this. And I'm cutting, notice I'm cutting against the grain because the hair kind of grows like so. So I'm cutting against the grain. Then I'll just take all the hair right beneath it. Then here, I'll probably just go back at it against the grain. Simple enough. Same thing here. I will go against the grain. I'm not trying to go way up here. I just wanted to be right enough to clean behind the ears. You know, people appreciate this very much. You know, especially as your client, as a customer, if this is a man's cut or whatever it cut. It don't have to be a man, but I'm just saying they will call this a man's cut. You know, this style. Okay. So, everybody familiar with the shears? Can I have a water bottle?
We're not quite there yet for
No.
the first and second session.
Perfect. So I can teach you that. So basically, what I'm gonna do with this, I'm gonna blend that into the clipper session. Okay. Does anybody have any questions on that clipper portion so far? Show of hands. You know exactly what to do. You got it down. You think? No? Yes? A little bit. Tell me what how can I help you clean that up?
I will never know until I have it with the client. So that's one way. I could say I am, but I could never actually.
Gotcha. But I think you can do it. Let's go there. Okay? Let's see. If Miss Kara can do it, I think you can do it. So, to execute this cut, I'm going to wet this. I don't want it like soaking wet, but I just want it to be, damp. Okay? So as I'm doing it, I'm fixing the hair up so I can kind of see what I got. And how I'm gonna do this is, I'm gonna be real simple. I'm gonna make me some guidelines in here. Okay? So I'm just finding how I'm gonna do it. What I'm gonna do is, how about a part?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make sure I get it, pretty good, and I'm gonna blend this into the size that I use the clippers with. So the first thing you want to do is you want to give yourself a guideline, and the first guideline I like to do when I'm doing these type of haircuts is I like to do a mohawk guideline, like just picture a mohawk going straight down the head, right? So I'm gonna part. Going straight back. Okay? And when you're parting, the secret to parting is comb the hair the direction that you want to go. You know, sometimes, let's for an example, if your hair was this way and I wanted a straight part, I ain't gonna never get no straight part like this if the hair is combed that way. Okay? Rule of thumb. So if you want a straight part to the back, comb the hair backwards. Put your finger on the other end where you want it to meet. You're gonna meet them with your pointer of the comb. Okay? So I'm going to use the pointer of my comb, back of my finger, and I'm going to meet them together and then I'm going to just easily just separate it from there. Simple enough? Okay. And then I want it to be a guideline. So now I have my, I'll comb everything else out. So,
Williams.
nah, you don't need those. I'm gonna use my shears. Take a lot off. How much should we take off, ladies?
All of this. I don't care what we do.
An inch. We're gonna take off a little bit. We'll take off. Let me take off one of these so you can see the transition, right? So I'm gonna pull it straight up from the scalp at a 90-degree angle. If you don't know what a 90-degree angle is, you can put your comb there and use and stand up straight up from the scalp. No matter where in the scalp you put your comb, it's a 90-degree angle. Okay? So this is gonna be my first guideline. It's called a traveling guideline. Familiar with that? Okay. Again, like these are basics, but it takes you to any level that you're trying to achieve. So, and I don't like to cut past my second knuckle because that mess hurts if you cut it. Okay, I'm just gonna go all the way back down to the mohawk. All the way to the cripple cut. And this is where you get your blend. So remember when I told you when you get to the curvature of the head with the parietal ridge, you never want to go in it, you want to go straight up. Now it'll blend into my hairstyle. Okay? So there's this is what I need to cut, and then I can just hold it 90 degrees, and then it'll blend into it. Okay? So you can do that. If you need more guidelines, you can do a horseshoe guideline, which is from the top of the apex down the ears, right over the ears. And then you can have multiple guidelines in your haircut if you need it. Right for this presentation, I'm just going to use the mohawk guideline. So I'm just going to cut everything vertically first. I'm going to use part of my guideline that I already have. I'm going to part it out and do the same thing over and over as far as utilizing my guideline. Okay. I think we're going to give, what's your name again?
Addie.
Addie. I think we're going to give Addie a little come over look.
Okay.
How's that? Okay. So I'm going to repeat it again. Let's see here. Now, is this the side of it? Yeah. So now, as I go to this side, I don't want it to be as short as the middle because I'm going to make this kind of be longer so it can kind of come over there. This side might be just a little bit shorter to blend. So that's kind of how I'm going to cut this style. And how you do that is by cutting at an angle, using my guideline here. Just going to kind of take the hair that I have, my guidelines here. Okay. Are you seeing that?
Mm-hmm.
So the one thing about cutting with shears that you must know is that if you cut it one way, you check it the other way. Okay? We call that cross check. So if I cut it vertically, in order to check it, I cut it the opposite direction. Okay? We call that cross check. That's a good one that you might want to put in your notes.
Say it again. Cross check.
Cross check. If you cut it vertically, you want to check it horizontally. If you cut it horizontally, you want to check it vertically. Okay. And then if you ever lose your guideline, you already know to go right back to the middle, which is your mohawk guideline. Okay. See, right now I'm just going back to my guideline because I kind of got that side taken care of. I went back to the middle, got my guideline. Now I'm gonna finish up this side, and I'm gonna make it work. I wish I had some gel for you. If you don't have it.
We've got some downstairs.
Okay.
You want someone to grab some?
Yeah.
Shut up.
That's my grab some.
What kind do you want? Hey, Josh, you want to go grab some gel from downstairs?
Okay.
Suavecito. Apparently.
All right. So
Thanks, dude.
we're taking about an inch off. Actually, when I get over here, I'm gonna take a little bit more than an inch, just so it can blend into it, and we get that look that we're looking for, that comb over look. Because I want to comb it to this side. I'm still using my guidelines, my traveling guideline that I started. Okay. Now I want to check it. That way. I want to cross check it by cutting it the opposite direction. Who can do this? Who can finish this up for me? You know I'll give you the scissors. I'll give you the shears. No? Who want to try it?
I will. It's gonna be the shears, yeah. I don't want to mess you up though.
I trust you, baby. Got you.
Uh-oh.
Abby trusts everyone.
Abby trusts everybody.
Yeah. Girl's hair.
I know, Abby, but you can pull up any hairstyle. I have that hairstyle.
Like, I've got kitties.
Okay, so the last part of this cut, I want to blend this last portion into the sides. Just kind of like I did the back. You know, this side is kind of disconnected because it's kind of combing over, like so. So we're going to disconnect. Disconnect. But this side, I need it to blend in, okay? So I have a little bulk right in this area. So I'm kind of take a little shear of a comb. I'm going to use two different techniques. I'm using shear of a comb, just kind of blend it just a little bit. And I'm also going to use the technique that I was using to kind of blend it. So first I'm going to do this one. I'm just going to pull it straight out. I'm going to try to connect it. You know, so my guideline's in there. Just going to take that off. Okay. Take that off. Just work my way back. Okay. See that? And as you're working, I want you to learn and get comfortable with moving your chair with your knee instead of moving all the way around this. Coming over here. I don't want you over here. Then I'm down here. You know, because time is money. We want to make money doing this, right? Right? Who wants to make money doing this?
Everybody.
Everybody wants to make money? Okay, you're not going to make money because time is money, right? Right or wrong? Say time is money.
True. Time is money.
Say time is money. So you need to be aware of your time. So I want you to be, I don't want you over here trying to, oh yeah, I need to get this there. And then the next minute you here, then really what all you needed to do was use your knee and spin the chair, because that's why it's hydraulic and that's why it spins. You know, so let it help you. Okay? Okay, and blend that out. And good. And then the last technique to kind of finalize that is, like I said, the shear of a comb. I bring this right down, and I want to hold my clipper like so. Okay. The reason why I hold it like this is to prevent carpal tunnel and all that. Because if you're going to be cutting out a lot of hair, you want to make sure you're using proper techniques to get the, the proper hairstyle and do multiple cuts at a time so you can make money. I want to hold it like this, and then I want my steel blade. My steel blade is the one at the bottom because it's steel. I guess that's why they call it a steel blade. And then one at the top is called the moving blade because my thumb is what's moving, like so. Okay, see that? Everybody do this. Put your hand out. Sorry. And then I want your fingers and your fingers at the top to not move. Okay, and I want you just to move your thumb and close your thumb to your. Okay, you kind of get the feel of that. That's how you should be utilizing your shears when you use your shears when you're cutting. Because if you come like this, you're going to be chopping a whole bunch of holes in here. Okay, I don't want you chopping holes. I want you, you're professionals. You're trained to be professionals. So it should be your moving blade or your thumb, which is controlling the moving blade. And it looks like this. My finger there. It looks like this, kind of like Pac-Man. Okay? Otherwise, you're going to be chomping. I don't want the chomps because you're going to put holes you can't control it. Okay? So in order to do that,
When you're available, please come down to the office.
okay? Now, this takes practice, but you can do it, and all it does is it helps you blend in areas that you need a little quick area that you don't need to bring your guard out. You could bring your guard back out there and do it at the same time or whatever works for you, but this is a great technique that helps you get that blend in. And you want to and you don't want to just do a chop. You want to use your comb to go up like you're cutting. You know, when you're cutting, you're not just cutting, leaving the clipper in one spot. You're moving it. So when you're doing this, if I just do one cut, it's going to be a hole. It's going to be a line. We don't want lines. Okay? We want it to blend. So I need the comb to be moving, and I need this to be moving. So it looks like so. Okay? And the hair and this is your guide. See, that's your guide. That's your guide. Anything that falls over that, then that's what you cut. Okay? Great. So I'm going to see the tools. Man, that might be going. So, real quick, the reason why, I forgot something. What I want to do real quickly is I wanted to part this so you can see this part. So how I'm gonna do this part, the way I'm gonna execute this, I'm gonna comb all that hair, the opposite direction, and this hair in the opposite direction. So I'm gonna part my red seat right in here. Okay? I'm gonna make small little lines, design lines. If you need to, what you can do is, I have these pencils here. In fact, I'll give a couple of them away. You can use these to help you execute, like a line, or maybe if it's, you want to put a part in there. Or, maybe you're not too sure about making your line straight on the back, so you can use a pencil like this to kind of help you get a guideline, okay? And it washes right out. If you put your clipper on it, it'll take it away, so it really helps you. So, tell me, what method are we doing? What fade method are we using? What is it called? What do I call it? Raise your hand. Somebody raise your hand and tell me. What's this?
Skip the blade.
Right, skip. You didn't see that. Skip blade method. Okay. Let's see. What helps us achieve a what do you call a guideline that I use today? What guideline did I use today? In the back.
Mohican guide.
What's it called? Mohican.
Traveling guide.
A traveling guide, yes. It wasn't a Mohican guide. But it was a Mohawk guide. It was a Mohawk. Mohawk Mohican. Let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and put this part in. I'm going to gel it up. And I want you to see the final product of it so you can get you guys before and after pictures. How much time we got? So, any questions? Any questions? No questions? All right, so I got some homework for you guys. Okay? So at the beginning of the class, I asked everybody in here, what was your why? Right? You remember that?
Yes.
So what I want you to know about your why is that I want you to, if you can do this real quick, it's a challenge actually. I want you to, everybody in here, I want you to, if you got everybody in here got Instagram? Mm-hmm. So I want you to go on your Instagram, and this is what I want you to do. I want you to go on your Instagram, and I want you to hashtag stylist Y, okay? I want you to put this in your hashtag. But I want you to go on your Instagram, on your page, and say, tell your Instagram followers, the world, your why you want to be a stylist. Give me just 1 minute, 30 seconds, 15 seconds, 2 seconds, don't matter. I want you to tell the world on your social media your why, okay? And I want you to use the hashtag stylist Y, okay? And I want you to tag me in it, and I want you to tag 3 friends. The reason why that is because now I want you to set the accountability out there. Because we need accountability partners. Rather it's your friends here or people. Matter of fact, I don't want you to tag nobody in here. If you do, that's fine. But I want you to tag 3 other friends outside of the school. Because now you're telling them that, hey, this is the reason why I want to be a stylist, and this is why I want to be great, this is what I expect out of it. Now you're speaking into an existence, and you're going to actually watch that work. I want you to watch that work. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a winner who has the best, who shared the best one, they got, who's passionate, or whoever got the best why. and then I'm going to send some clippers here I'll send some clippers here for the winner that I pick next week. How's that sound? Is that cool?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Stylist Y, WHY, stylist. Okay, and you have to tag me, and you have to use that hashtag, and that's my Instagram. Okay, so I'm gonna just go ahead and finish this up. While I finish this up, if you have any questions, it's the time to ask. Huh? Okay. I want you to know your why. I want you to know why you want to be a stylist. So that way we can have a real plan on where you want to be in 15 months from now, or 20 months from now, and then 5 years from now. One other thing I want you to do, if you can, pass this around everybody. Fill that out for me, and then you can put it up here at the end, so I can. And basically, it's just a survey. Basically, tell me how the class went and what you want to learn. So next time I come, I can help you execute the next level that you want to get to. Okay? Did those trimmers come back around?
Right here.
Okay, third, fourth. You guys need to do a bunch of new. Or you which one you guys do just when they were done?
We probably should have been before 10 minutes.
Okay, you guys can say more bed. You guys, it's new, you need to go to lunch.
Okay.
We got the class on top.
Can I get so I'm finishing this up, but can I get a picture of everybody before everybody goes?
I can pull off any.
Yeah, seriously.
My boisterous personality.
All right, so. So this is why a lady doing men's haircut, you're doing something like this, and just rubbing on a guy's head like this, anything sexual, but very professional. This is, because a lot of guys like, man, I don't want no guy styling my head. But as a lady, you can do this in a way, and you still give them a good look. Man, it's amazing, what you can accomplish, as a professional cutting men's hair, because they feel like they can really relax. No guy really trying to relax in a guy's chair, like, man. They look like, they always on the up and up, like trying to figure out what's going on.
You are now swaps. I am swapping Stop. Can't help it.
How's that look?
It looks nice.
I like it.
Thanks, dude.
All right. And I'm just going to go ahead and kind of knock your sideways off and keep going.
Where at?
It's on 72nd and, what is it? Off of Dodge. I'll be familiar sometimes. We just moved to a new location.
So you don't have no girls working with you right now?
Actually, I'm meeting with one today that's going to start.
A barber?
Yeah, she's a barber, actually, yeah.
Thanks, Arthur.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys. Yes, so she's hopefully she should start tomorrow or the next day. When I get back today, she got an interview. Her interview yesterday.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Really
Really excited to see
nice.
it.
I love it.
It is. You can rock anything.
I know.
Interesting, right?
Yeah, it's not fair, Abby. I wish I could. That's what I got it. Victor, you did it, but use the NYX.
Thank you.
Did y'all do that?
Yeah.